Welcome to our Built for Athletes medium 25-liter gym backpack review. In today's video, I'm gonna take my experience of reviewing 500 plus of the world's best bags, and I'm gonna let you know what I think about this thing. We're gonna pack it out, I'm gonna give you my honest pros and cons, and if you're not quite sold that this is the backpack for you, you're gonna wanna stick around to the end of the video where I'll make some alternative suggestions for some gym bags that might be a bit more up your alley. Let's talk about the gist of the Built for Athletes medium 25-liter gym backpack. Now, I'm gonna hit the nail on the head and say that I'm not like a super hardcore gym lifestyle kind of person. So if you're watching this, I wanna let you know that my perspective is gonna come more from just like a bag background, how it's constructed, if it's overpriced, things that you need to be aware of so you can decide if it's worth the price point, because this bag's not cheap. But what's interesting is that this is actually our second, Margaret, right? Built for Athletes backpack, yeah. This is our second. We did the 45-liter a couple years back, and it's gotten like some really great responses. Because you gotta understand, we're in the travel and EDC niche, but like gym is like on the periffs for us. And this is definitely like one of the more popular gym backpacks I've seen. I've actually seen it around in Hong Kong, where I live. There's a few reasons why. So let's go ahead and talk about the top features. This bag is all about just catering to that gym lifestyle and organization. We got front compartments on the bottom and the top, compression straps on the side, 2 external water bottle holders, which I've got some opinions on those. A couple things you need to be aware of. We'll talk about that 2 chapters from now. We've got a smaller front compartment and a larger main compartment. Notice how dark it is? That lining is black. I'm gonna tell you why that's not my favorite choice one section from now. And I'm curious to hear your thoughts about it as well. And we also got a super beefy and chunky and pretty breathable harness system. As of recording, the medium version of this bag comes in 4 color options. Now this bag is advertised at 25 liters capacity, but we're gonna double check that by taking our measuring balls and filling every single compartment individually. As you can see, the bag is fully packed out with our measuring balls. And this is very important because it'll give you an idea section by section of how much space you actually have. This black line is 1 liter, so you got about 1 liter capacity in the top pocket. Bottom compartment, basically at the top, which is 2.4 liters, call it 2.5. All right, so we're at 10 liters now, which means that that compartment's around 6.5 liters. So you can see we're at 5, 10, 15, 20, I'd say just a little bit over 20 liters. And that measurement's not including the water bottle pockets where you might get a couple extra liters each. So all in all, around 25 liters. Built for Athletes doesn't seem to have the weight of this bag on their website, which I am not a fan of. That's why we double check these things ourselves. I'm getting just a smidge under 2.9 pounds. This is the bag when it's empty, and this is the bag when it's fully packed out and worn on the Nomads Nation team. I'm 5'8". And our media manager, Margaret, is 5'2". And don't worry, we're gonna pack out the bag throughout the entire review so you can see exactly what it fits. All Built for Athletes bags are protected by a 1 or 2 year warranty, depending on what bag you get. And for all that, this bag runs around 175 USD. And if at any point during this review you want to find out more information or you're thinking about making a purchase, we highly suggest doing so with the first link in the description. Reason being, that link makes sure that you get the best price, and we oftentimes have discount codes, especially for Built for Athletes. But that link also helps to support the Nomads Nation YouTube channel and team so we can keep making the best bag reviews on the web. Thank you very much. Okay, let's talk about the front of the Built for Athletes medium 25-liter backpack. And the first thing that we notice on the front of any bag is the aesthetic, which that's probably why you're here, right? You know, like the gym culture aesthetic speaks to you. You want people on the streets to know you train, and there's nothing wrong with that. So you can let the people know that you're a Built for Athletes fan, or maybe you let them know you're a Nomads Nation fan. Now, I'm not sure what materials Built for Athletes is using for this bag. It's likely some sort of polyester or nylon, which means it's gonna be very abrasion resistant and very weather resistant. There might be some rip stop properties in this bag, but overall it's a fabric that's got a very tough feel to it. I'm gonna go with like a 500D nylon or polyester. It's got like a feel that maybe like a GORUCK bag or like a cheaper version of a GORUCK bag might have. But overall, it's really tough. This right here, all these little holes, this is the MOLLE system, which just allows you to clip things externally on your bag. And then inside these pockets, we have no additional organization. So there's no pockets within pockets. It's actually pretty minimalist in that sense. But here's something I don't love about the bag. As where you can see inside the pockets, they're using a black lining. And black, I guess, is good for a gym bag in some sense because black hides dirt. So if you just throw like a dirty gym towel or, anything in general, if dirt gets here, you're not gonna see it. But it also makes it a black hole in these pockets and really hard to find what you put where. Top pocket's good for smaller bits of gear, wallet, keys, meds, my chapstick and my gum. And then for this pocket, I think, great spot for your over-the-ear headphones. A must at the gym. You can see my Sony XMH5s fit. Oh yeah, that is a very snug fit. Moving on, let's jump into the next chapter and talk about the middle of the Built for Athletes medium 25-liter gym backpack. Now, I actually forgot to do the dimensions earlier in the video, so we'll talk about that now. As to where you can see the bottom of the bag, we've got a lot of real estate. This is a deep bag when fully packed out, as to where you've got just under 9 inches depth. And what's interesting and slightly strange about this bag, because it's only like 16 inches. And what that means is a lot of the capacity of this bag is in its depth. So this is a bag that really sticks out in your back. And also for a 25 liter, it's riding very high, which, I don't know, made me feel huge. I was like, whoa, I am enormous in this 25 liter backpack. But it's just got a different sort of a carried vibe to it. I'll talk about that a bit more in the next chapter. First up, let's talk about these water bottle holders. If you're going to the gym, you probably got a water bottle in one pocket and then protein shake, creatine, whatever it might be in the other one. So you can see over here, I got a 1 liter Yeti. It's a big boy. These water bottle pockets, they're good for gym life, right? Because you can get that 1 liter Yeti in here and you can cinch it into place with this guy here. But I will say they're not great for gym life because there's no other way to secure this. Oh, actually, no, I take that back because we do have a little point right here. So you could clip like a carabiner on to secure your water bottle. But you also have the compression straps. Now, normally compression straps like this are used for when you're traveling, to therefore cinch the bag down. But this is actually great for your water bottle too, as it can be used to help keep it in place. Now, it's not gonna crush the upside down test. That thing is heavy. But I can definitely say with the cinch system and the compression strap, it's less likely to fall out, but it's definitely not the most secure water bottle holder I've ever tested. Top handle, pretty good, gets the job done. Not a lot of padding, but there is a bit of room to get your hand in there. But I love all the reinforced stitching here. So the top handle, it ain't gonna pop out anytime soon. Now let's talk about those 2 compartments. We have one here with no additional organization. And the second larger one here with a bit of organization. We got a sleeve and a couple of mesh pockets. Let's go ahead and pack it out. All right, you can see all the gear I got here is trying to mimic a potential day at the gym. Shoes, change of clothes, towel, tech pouches. Now for this compartment, like I said, no additional organization. Good spot for clothes, methinks. That's where your change of clothes for later can go. Actually, the zips, let's take a look at these bad boys. YKK, thank God. You definitely want YKK zippers at this price point, and you definitely want YKK zippers with only a 1-year warranty. I'm not really stoked about that with the price point of these bags. One thing to note is these compression straps. While they're great for securing your water bottle, is they can just be a little annoying when you're trying to get into the bag, and also annoying is look just how dark this thing is, man. This bag is a black hole. So to get into the main compartment, just keep in mind, you gotta unclip compression straps to get full clamshell. Now, actually, let's talk tech real fast. I got a cutout for the size of a 16-inch MacBook Pro, and that is not gonna fit at all. So we gotta go smaller with my real life 13-inch MacBook Pro. We're fitting. No real false bottom with this laptop sleeve, but a little bit. There's a lot of padding though. So that means if the bag falls, not too bad on the laptop. Got a bit of padding here as well, and a bunch on the back panel. Overall, it's an okay laptop sleeve. I think it's a great bag though, if you're just not bringing a laptop, or if you don't need it to be like a really techie bag. Because a lot of gym bags have like an entire laptop compartment in them. So I think the lack of one gives you more packing space for more potential gym stuff. Like let's say shoes, tech pouch. See if my Switch can fit in there as well. And that's gonna get us to 25 liters, ladies and gentlemen. We're pretty close to there. can see we got the water bottle, not the most secure. Again, clipping in with a carabiner up there. Overall, the capacity is nice. We've got a decent amount of organization with the pockets, but notice how chunky this thing is looking. So it's very important to keep in mind that this is definitely, like I said, chunky, deep bag, especially when it's fully packed out. But that chunk and that depth is making this bag self-stand really, really well. So if that's important to you, which it always is to me, that's definitely a huge check in the pros box as well. Now, before we jump into the next chapter, I gotta let you know that if you're enjoying this review, you might be a little bit of a bag nerd, or at the very least, maybe a bit of a gearhead. And if that's the case, I wanna welcome you to the channel and also let you know that here at Nomads Nation, we don't just do bag reviews on our YouTube channel, but we also have the Nomads Nation newsletter. And in that, you can look at me like you're a reporter in the field, where I'm like bringing you the biggest headlines of what's happening in the world of EDC and travel gear. I'm talking about the biggest drops, limited edition collabs, plus you get access to our discount codes and exclusive giveaways. You can do so by finding this globe emoji in the description below. I hope to see you in your inbox. Let's talk about the back of the Built for Athletes medium 25-liter gym backpack. One thing to note is there's no luggage pass-through holder on this bag, so if you wanted it to double up as a suitcase companion, do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Not an option with this bag. Also, in my opinion, what's not a very good option is the hip belt. And this will allow me to kind of riff real fast on just the interesting dimensions of this bag, as to where it really does ride high. Now, I like my bag to be a little bit tighter, but even if I bring it lower, like it's not a very tall bag. I'm 5'8", remember? I'm not like a super tall dude. So if I totally make this bag as loose as possible. Anyways, this is the buckle. Right beneath it is my belly button, which is not where you typically want a hip belt to be. You usually want it to be, more on your hip. Sternum strap, thank God I can report that it's covering my sternum. But if you wear this bag a little higher, like I prefer to do, you can see here, that hip belt is going to be like north of the belly button, significantly further north of the belly button region. But good news I can tell you, it's a comfy bag. Comfy harness system is crucial, especially on a gym bag where you have a bunch of stuff. You could see this padding. Like, this is squishy, chunkalicious, shoulder strap harness system that I'm all about. I could have used a bit more structure in there as to where we just have the foam padding. You can see right here, I've cut into an actual shoulder strap where it has the foam padding on this side, but I like a little bit of foam as well just to give it that structure. Just feels like, But overall, it's very comfortable. Back panel as well. If you like to clip things onto your shoulder straps externally, you have all these lash points and these here as well. Great for grabbing your shade super fast. And when it comes to dangle, stop the dangle Dan, this little guy will be semi-protesting, because on the sternum strap, we do have a little bit of excess fabric happening. Less so at the bottom of the shoulder straps, but still kind of a little bit with this system. And then with the hip belt, if you want to keep it on, there's no way to stow it away. So it's gonna be kind of flopping around. So there's a reason he's still here. It's because this is a decent dangle experience with the bag, but not the best. Keep fighting the good fight, little guy. Overall though, dangle aside, it's a really comfortable experience, very well padded. I give it 3.5 out of 5. Let's talk about the overall pros and the cons of the Built for Athletes medium 25-liter gym backpack. Pro number one, it's a bag designed for the gym rats out there. So if that's your lifestyle, like this bag is built for that. Pro number two, it's actually quite comfortable on top of it. And pro number three is just how well this bag self-stands. But on the flip side, I got some cons, and one of the cons is, although the bag self-stands so well, it's really deep, kind of like beer belly-esque because of it. It's not the sexiest, slimmest bag. Con number two is going to be just that super dark black interior. Could have been lightened up a little bit. And con number three is just gonna be that strange fit as to where the bag is just on the shorter side for a 25-liter. And that kind of screws up the location of the hip belt. Overall, it's not a bad wear, it's just an interesting kind of a wearing experience. But I do think it's an interesting bag. And if you agree and you're thinking about picking one up or you want to learn more information, just a reminder that we highly recommend doing so with the first link in the description. That link just makes sure you get the best price, and if there's any discount codes, that's what they'll be. But I also teased some alternative recommendations earlier in the video. Let's talk about them. First up, if you're new to the channel, I highly recommend watching our Nomads Nation leaderboard video. This is where myself and the whole Nomads Nation team, we get together and pick our favorite bags in distinct bag categories. It's a great video to watch if you're just looking for a dope bag, but you want to get different opinions on what the best options in the market are. I've gone ahead and linked that above. But if we're kind of close to the bag like this, let me give you two more specific alternatives. First up is gonna be the King Kong Conquer backpack. Great pick for you if you're in the market for a bag around this price point, but you wanna see it done a little bit differently. King Kong gives you different color options, a little more tactical, a little less gym rat, but with a ton of gym functionality as well. And my second alternative is gonna be the GORUCK GR2. Great pick for you if you like the tactical vibes, but you want something that's just built for the apocalypse. This is a bag that will last years. GORUCK bags will last lifetimes. But they're a lot more expensive, but the warranty is also one of the best in the game. But you gotta be ready to splurge. Honestly, all three bags have their pros and cons, but to learn more about the two alternatives, just go ahead and watch these videos here. If you got any questions about any bags, be sure to let me know in the comments below or in the Nomads Nation subreddit. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Aaron, this is Nomads Nation, and we'll catch you guys next time.